Adult education matters. This is one of those bumper stickers you see every day that could mean anything and be interpreted as 1,000 different things. Being an adult that went back to school after epically failing in my late teens and early 20s, it makes me think, why did I go back to school this time? I took so many classes and failed so many classes that you would think that would have been an education in itself to just give up. I don't know, maybe I was not cut out for it at the time, maybe my brain just wasn't ready for it, and maybe it is now. I certainly could have made better choices at that time in my life. However, here I am, and this is the best that I can do. What is it like learning as an adult from one person's perspective? It's hard. I have a life now that includes a family, 3 children, and a busy list of responsibilities and activities that goes on and on. I pay bills and I work, and those are just a few of the obstacles that I face as an adult. One of the most intimidating things I had to face walking into a classroom for the first time was the fact that I was walking into a classroom with freshmen, fresh-faced freshmen just out of high school with nice, fresh brains. They seemed to know more, and they were a lot younger than me, so it was hard. I know you would think, being the confident person I am, an adult with children, that this really wouldn't have fazed me at all. But it really was. In talking to some of my friends that are starting school for the second time in their life, it's really common for an adult learner to be intimidated by the people around them. Although I have 1 degree now and I'm working on a 2nd degree, college has become kind of addictive to me. I really enjoy taking classes now. I'm more serious about my classes, and when I don't get an A, I am very upset. What is the point of learning as an adult? Should adults go back to college? Isn't it a waste of resources and time on both ends of the spectrum? Who deserves to be educated? Do adults deserve to be educated, or is this something that should be saved for the younger crowd? So what is the point of learning as an adult? Aren't our brains just too old? Molecular biologist and writer John Medina says this in his book, Brain Rules. Some parts of our adult brains stay as malleable as a baby's, so we can create neurons and learn new things throughout our lives. In other words, your brain is never too old to learn. Learning new things and being academic is very good for your brain, no matter what your age. There are new studies that have shown adults who seek continuous knowledge live longer, have less diseases and sickness, and have less risk of brain diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia. So don't ever be afraid to go back to school or take a class of any kind and learn. Henry Ford said, anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. Anyone who keeps learning stays young. It's good for your brain. Should adults go back to college? Is it a waste of resources and time? Are they taking up too much space and scholarship money that younger people could have, or both? We already mostly answered these questions. However, I can expand a little bit more on this. Anymore, college classes are rarely overbooked, and wait lists are so rare, you just don't see them very often. As far as the money aspect goes, many adults have jobs and dual income homes and families. In my experience, I was not eligible for many scholarships simply because of my income or my husband's income. There are tons of scholarships and grants out there. For me, I had to search very hard to find scholarships, and there were many times just enough to cover pieces and parts of my education and my books. The only thing I really was eligible for was student loans, and I took those a couple semesters, but knowing I had to pay them back slowed me down quite a bit. There are a few exceptions to the financial aid rule. If you are a single parent or have some sort of disability, there is a little bit more available to you. So finally, who deserves to be educated? Is it just the young, just out of high school? Is it people under 25? In many countries, going to college at my age is not only inappropriate, but it is impossible due to their government structure. In countries like Russia and China, you are only allowed to go to secondary school if you are chosen, and sometimes if your family has monetary favor with the government. In one of my classes, we had a Russian exchange student. She was very young, 16 or 17, I think, and she said it was strange in the U.S. to have adults in her class. When I asked her why, she said, "Why would an adult need to be in college? Don't they have jobs? Don't they have families to take care of?" When I explained to her that I had a job, she was very confused. Her parents happened to have money to send her to the U.S. for education and for her experience. In Russia, if you're lucky enough to be accepted to primary school, you have to be exceptional to be accepted to secondary school and to university or upper education. Many in Russia are not educated and work with their families in a business or trade. So we have it good. We still have the choice to be educated at any age. So to answer in short, anyone who wants to be educated in this great country deserve it. If you have the driving passion, go for it. I like how John Dewey said it best. Education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself.